Heidi-ho, vinyl community. It has been a while since I made a video, over 6 months, and this is like take 120, so hopefully I can get through this video and post it. I just couldn't resist jumping in on the 2021 vinyl tag. I've watched quite a few of the videos. I love seeing records from other people's collections, and for me, I was like, I want to just jump in. I miss the interaction with other vinyl enthusiasts. And so my 2021 tag, I'm going to change it a little because there's been so many great videos out there. I am really into, my collection is very female heavy. So a lot of female artists are in my collection. So my 2021 tag is going to feature female only artists, whether it's a solo vocalist, a girl group, a trio, an all female band. So we're gonna try to do it all female, and hopefully I can accomplish that, and hopefully you'll discover a new group or a new artist. So to start off, a discovery in 2020, for me a discovery in 2020 was the band Bleached. And this is their album, Welcome the Worms, from 2016. So they do have two other albums out. This is their sophomore effort. And I really dig this album. They are kind of an indie pop, a little punk. You definitely punk influence in there. One of my favorite songs is Wednesday Night Melody. It has a great hook, a great riff. Definitely check them out. Bleached. A quarantine buy. So like everyone else, even though we were definitely in quarantine, still are in some ways, I am definitely still buying music. What can I say? I am a vinyl junkie. So this was one of my quarantine purchases. And this is Reparetta and the Delrons, and this is from 1965, Whenever a Teenager Cries. And the title of the album, actually, Whenever a Teenager Cries, was their big single that they released from this album. You may or may not have heard them. They're definitely worth a stream. I do enjoy them. I adore 60s girl groups. And look at those beautiful taffeta dresses. Amazing. An LP you want to find in 2021. So definitely in 2021, I'm not necessarily looking for a specific genre, music, or band, or artist. I would definitely love to discover new music, maybe girl group type music, not meaning girl group in a derogatory term, but definitely I love female artists, and there's some amazing all-female bands out there right now, so I would definitely like to discover more female all bands, maybe all-female bands that play surf music. That would be great. So I'll be on the lookout for that. A box set. So this one was a tough one. So you're going to have to, we're going to fudge a little here. I only have 3 box sets and none of them feature female artists. But I feel like this is kind of close. This came out in 1979. And if Warner Brothers would have put a little more effort into it, this Supergirls compilation album, which featured 3 albums and over 30 songs, and those 3 albums were stuffed in this flimsy little sleeve, but I think this would have made a great box set with, you know, a little booklet that talked about the groups, about the songs, but all in all, this is still a really good comp album, and I picked it up just for a few dollars at a used record store. It's been a few years ago, but I still think you could probably pick it up for very reasonable cost. But definitely close to being a box set. Should have been a box set, but definitely give it a listen. So please give me the pass on that one. Next one, a concept album. So I definitely feel like this is a concept album. 1956, Julie London, Calendar Girl. And this has a wonderful gatefold on it. So we have all the months here. And so, of course, for every month, there's a song that she sings. And love this pinup artwork on this. And the gatefold opens up. Beautiful, sultry picture of Julie London. And here's some information, track listings on the Liberty label. Calendar Girl. And I want to give a shout out to Chris Billings. I don't think he's making videos anymore, but I think he's still on Instagram. He's the one who introduced me to Julie London. She really wasn't on my radar. I had seen her before in the record bins, but I kind of passed over. But he really, gave her a great recommendation. He felt like the kind of music I like, that it might be something I enjoy, and I have enjoyed it. And the album art on this is amazing. Next, let's go an album where an artist changed direction. So I feel like this artist definitely did a 380, and that would be Cyndi Lauper. And this is her country album. And I don't know if it quite works. The verdict is still kind of out for me. I bought it in 2016, I think, when it did come out. And I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence whether I like it or not. But she did have a little help from her friends. Emmylou Harris, Willie Nelson, Alison Krauss, Vince Gill. So definitely some heavy hitters helping Cyndi out on her Detour album, which is a detour to country. So an artist that changed directions. White label promo. So the white label promo I am going to show is 1982 Josie Cotton convertible music. And this one has a gold stamp on the back. It features the big one, Johnny Are You Queer, from the Valley Girl soundtrack. And great album. I think they've actually recently reissued this album. And here's the white label promo here, Elektra Records. Next, sorry, I have to look at my notes here. An album that tells, a comp album. So the next one is a comp album. For me, there's lots of great girl group comp albums out at this time that you can pick up, but a record label that does them really well is Ace Records. And this is just one of them that I do own by Ace, and this is Love Hit Me, and this is Decca Beat Girls, and they always have wonderful covers. Here's some of the artists featured on there. Sorry about the glare. And they usually some type of colored vinyl. I know I don't necessarily search out colored vinyl, but they do a great job on this. So this is on a bright yellowy kind of, I don't know what that would be, but a lemon kind of color. And here's what their inner sleeves. They do this with all their comp albums. There's information about each of the artists, maybe a few pictures, and they just do an incredible job on their compilations. I wish all the record labels did such a great job and took details that music enthusiasts, they really want that. They want that. And so Ace Records for girl comps, girl group comps. Next, an album that tells a story. So I chose 1975, Joni Mitchell, Blue. My copy that I've had, it's been well loved. It's been played a lot by me. It was kind of well loved when I got it, but it still sounds amazing. I love the gatefold on this. when I was in junior high, I had my little notebook and I would write down all the lyrics to songs. And so I really appreciate it when albums have inner sleeves with lyric sheets on it, or the gatefold does. Joni Mitchell is an amazing singer, songwriter, storyteller. I feel like all the songs on this album definitely tell a story, and it is a beautiful album that really requires the listener to take the time and listen to the story being told. Just kind of immerse yourself. There's a reason why this album is on so many people's top 10 list, and that's Joni Mitchell Blue. I've seen this one done different ways, and this would be a common and an uncommon album. So for me, instead of choosing the same artist, I chose two different artists, female vocalists, and featured a certain year that was in common. So I chose the year 2003, and my first album is Liz Phair, and it's a self-titled album. This is done on a beautiful gatefold, and this is a reissue from 2018. So this album was reissued, which makes it a little more common. It makes it easier to pick up. I had the CD for years. That's what I originally got this album on, and so I was happy to see when they reissued it on vinyl. Another artist from 2003 where it's more uncommon to find this album, because this album has not been reissued. So if you do have it on vinyl and it's in your music collection, then it came out in 2003, and that's Beyonce, Dangerously in Love. And this is a 2-album set. Amazing, amazing album. Quite frankly, I'm a little selfish and I don't want to see them reissue this album. It's kind of nice when you have something in your collection that not everybody has. But I'm sorry, that was kind of selfish of me. But Beyonce, Dangerously in Love, an uncommon album to find in your record bins. And I skipped over an album that needs a vinyl pressing, and I don't have a picture to show you, sorry, but for me it would be from the artist Phantom Blue. I believe it's a self-titled album. It's from 1989. They are a glam, kind of hard rock, heavy metal band, and they just kind of got lost in the shuffle. But the songs I have heard off the album are amazing. I did have a chance to buy the record maybe 5 years ago, and it was in a record store, and it has the cover has a great cover with the ladies on front, and they got all the teased hair and the leather. They are looking tough and sexy at the same time. But the dealer wanted $50, and at the time it was like, it's just kind of out of my price range. I'll find it another time. I have never seen it since, and when I have seen it popped up on Discogs or on eBay, it's usually over $100, $100 plus. And so I would love it if they reissued that album from 1989, and probably, just as I selfishly said with Beyonce, probably people that own that album are like, no, don't reissue it. But that would be my hope, to reissue Phantom Blue. Next, an EP. So one of my favorite bands, I want to show the Bengals EP, self-titled EP, the Bengals, and this came out in 1983, and this has 5 songs on it, and I got it for cheap, $4.99, and that was a few years ago, but it was definitely worth the price. I do love it. So it was like $1 a song, so definitely worth it. Album was in great condition, still is, and of course the album's kind of still in the shrink. A girl group. So hey, we've been talking about girl groups this whole time, but I'll show you another one one of my favorite girl groups, the Chiffons, One Fine Day, and this is a 1963 release. And of course, it has the single One Fine Day on it. It also has It's My Party, Da Do Run Run, a cover of Locomotion. Really great album, the Chiffons. An album cover you love. So an album cover I really love is Martha and the Vandellas Dance Party. How could you not love that? I really love the cover. And here's a shot of the back. Oh, we're almost through. An album that you listen to the most, without a doubt, it would be the Go Gos, Beauty and the Beat. And song for song, the whole album, there's no skips for me. I love this album. I've been listening to it for a long time, many, many years, on different formats, cassette, CD, and of course the album. I have the peach cover, the blue cover. I love the Go Gos. Highly recommend this album, the Go Gos. If you haven't seen their documentary, that doc series that came out, love that documentary. Great, check it out. I think it was in Showtime, but I think it's coming to DVD, so definitely check that out. An album you had to get an OG copy of. So I was able to pick up the Ronettes on the Music on Vinyl reissue. Love this album. I was so happy when they reissued it because I just could never find an original early pressing of it, and if I did, it was like really expensive. So I loved when Music on Vinyl came out with this in, gosh, when did they come out? Did I make a note of it? 2013, May 2013 they came out with this. But maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I bought a collection. It was just a little collection. I think it had been picked through before I got to it, but my husband found it on Facebook Marketplace, and when we went to look at it, I was like, I don't know. But then I saw this, the Ronettes, an early pressing, presenting the fabulous Ronettes, and it was like, oh, I couldn't leave it there behind. So I bought a little collection for one album. But luckily I didn't pay a lot for it. But definitely 1964 Ronettes. I do love this album. And last album you purchased would be Francois Hardy, and this is the best of a 1968 compilation. I have not even spun this yet. I haven't cleaned it up. Still has a 97-cent price tag on it. But it looks like it's in really good condition. When I inspected the vinyl before I made the purchase, yeah, I even look at the vinyl if it's only under $1. It looked wonderful. So I'm excited to try this out. Never really gotten to the Yee Yee Girl scene, but I've been kind of sampling more and more, and so I'm excited to be adding Francois Hardy to my collection. An album that people don't get, maybe people don't even know of, that would be Julie Brown, Goddess in Progress, and this is more of a comedy album, though she does sing kind of a synth pop type. It's from 1984, and but some people are greatly offended, especially with the lead track, The Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun. So, but it's all in good fun. It's just a comedy album from 1984. I don't know quite how to defend it, but people just really don't get this album. Julie Brown. And a punk album. So a punk group that I just discovered like in 2020. I totally slept on them, and now they've disbanded. They broke up. They only had 2 albums, but I love this album. This is on play a lot. When I first heard the album, I kind of streamed it, and I fell in love with it, and it reminded me of my middle daughter, really did. And we saw each other on New Year's, and she lives in Philly, and this is a Philly band. And I had mentioned them, I started to mention them, and she knew exactly who I was talking about. And this is Katana, Nervous Like Me, a female punk trio. I love this album. It's really good. Definitely has a indie vibe to it also. Definitely punk. There's a little grit to it. It's not all auto fine-tuned. It is amazing. I just really love this album, Katana. And favorite 2020 reissue, there was actually a lot of great female albums reissued in 2020. Fanny, The Feminine Complex, the Bengals Doll Revolution, and I was able to pick up all three of those, and there was other wonderful ones also, but one that I was really happy that they reissued, because I've never seen it on vinyl since the 1980s, and that's Kim Wilde and her self-titled album. And of course it has The Kids in America and some other great hits. I was so excited that they reissued this album in 2020. That is my 2021 tag. Thank you for tuning in. This went a little long, almost 21 and a half minutes, but thank you for watching. And please leave a comment if you like this video or you want to recommend a girl group or a female artist to me. I would love to hear from you. I hope everyone has a great week. I will see you on the flip side.